Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha, and if you're new here, I talk about pretty much anything to do with mental health, inner peace, how to get along with other people, and if you are included at any point in time in this world, you're probably freaking exhausted. So I think we can all safe to say that we're all really tired. So I just wanted to point that out because I feel like all these YouTubers get on this they're just like super, have all this energy and they're just super happy, and I kind of want what they want or what they're doing. So I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm super tired, and I'm sure you are as well. So make sure to take care of yourself. So today's video I thought I would do on morality and the difference between morality and conscience. So there is a difference, and hopefully this will help create some peace within some communities and get a little bit of an understanding of yourself as well as other people's perspectives. So morality is based on having the ability to conduct yourself in a way that is culturally appropriate or socially appropriate and this is based on cognitive development. It's also based on types of reasoning, logic, and basically what will get you culturally accepted. These types of examples include what is morally wrong and morally acceptable will be based on culture to culture. And some examples are divorce, premarital sex, homosexuality, polyamory, and gambling. Those can change across the board. And it's interesting, and it's like really interesting to me because if you go to like a completely different culture, they are okay with eating live animals, but if you come here in America, that is not accepted. So having a moral code is really based on how other people view you, and unfortunately a lot of people forget that, and they also forget that other people have been brought up differently. So I'm going to give an example. Let's say a person grows up in poverty, like really intense poverty, and for people that either are middle class or haven't experienced like a really intense poverty, even things like not having furniture in their house is like a really big deal to them. But people that have endured like a really intense poverty, they are very focused on surviving and to get their basic needs met, such as food, water, shelter. They are solely focused on them and their immediate family. So a person that did not grow up in poverty, they're going to be more on a level that is have a perspective that is a little bit more wide because they've already got those food, water, shelter, fundamental needs met. And they sometimes people that haven't had been in that survival mode for such a long time, they won't even they don't even know what rage or intense anger feels like because they've never had to experience that. So to a person that's in sole survival mode, rage and anger are something that is morally correct. Like anger is something that is very physical. It's due to a boundary being crossed, or fear, hatred, which are the same things. And also it's adrenaline. It's being able to survive and be able to work harder than other people. People that fear that they're not going to get long-term needs met, even in other countries, such as this one. But in general, they view anger as something that is morally correct, whereas people that haven't had to access that part of themselves, they're going to view it more as incorrect. So rage with a group of people might be something that's super inappropriate to one culture, but to another culture it's going to be like, oh, that's okay. So it's very helpful to have an open mind on all types of things. Even if it's something that you just don't agree with, it's very helpful to actually, like, say you don't believe that murder is wrong, and you are talking with someone that thinks that, disagrees with you. Really look at both sides of perspective and ask yourself, okay, I'm a person that doesn't think murder is wrong, or I'm a person that thinks murder is right. What circumstances or beliefs do I have to come up with this understanding or perception? Now, this is different than a conscience. Conscience is more of an innate voice. People that are super intuitive will actually feel it in here, or they'll actually feel like really sick. Like it's a very dropping feeling, or it's just a feeling that that is right, that is intuitively right or wrong. Those are basically the difference between conscience and morality. And the interesting thing about it is that shame and guilt play prevalently a role in the social construct in a human being, because both feeling shame is more of a social emotion, and there are some people that, like, let's say for example, if you've ever been around someone that is an active drug addict, you will notice that they don't have any form of, they don't have a conscience. And this is due to, in my opinion, or people that have been through a severe round of trauma, their social interactions with other people, they're such in a form of survival mode that they feel like other people are not going to take care of them, or they have been rejected to such a degree that they can't rely on other people, to the degree that they kind of have the lone wolf syndrome. And this is kind of people who are ultra independent. They don't care about other people as much. Like, they don't care about their view of them. They typically are not very submissive people. They're not very obedient. They're usually actually really good leaders and very good with leading people that are in like a disarray. But there are people that actually don't feel a sense of shame. And to a person that really wants to be socially accepted or culturally accepted, shame is definitely a big motivator, because it means that it's very a public humiliation. So if you grow up in a family that's super religious or really strict, they will teach their children that fear, like love and shame, are kind of the same thing. So a person that really grows up in a strict household will usually struggle with a lot of self-consciousness, or feelings of like, I'm a bad person, or I shouldn't do this, because they have their parents or their culture or their upbringing from generations have taught that to fit in, I need to do this, this, and this, and it plays a really big role in a person. So to a person that really struggles with shame and guilt, the lone wolf syndrome person will kind of feel like off-putting to these people, because they are trained or given a moral code that is conditioned within themselves to be obedient and subservient, whereas the lone wolf is like, hey, I didn't have anybody take care of me, so I didn't have anybody to construct me in a way that was like really, really strict, so I'm just by myself, so unfortunately I can't care about what other people think. So this really has a lot to do with I think people in a nutshell really want to connect with other people, and even if they feel like really bad around other people or feel like really lonely, they still have that drive to be around other people, or else social media or social condemnation would not feel so bad. And I think that people have an innate need to relate to other people, and when they don't, it causes really big consequences. So it's very helpful to actually make a list or be very aware of parts, or be really open with parts of yourself that maybe have two different opinions on certain subjects. And this really has to do with more of a conscious, like a innate conscience. And so when people argue with other people about things that are immoral or ethical, what they're really arguing about is either cultural standards or the conscience that they have within the, like, their own personal conscience. So it really doesn't make sense to me why people would argue about that without actually getting to know the person and why they think like that, because not everyone grows up the same, not everyone has the same personality traits, and not everyone has the same personal power. Like, we're all put on this earth because we have a sense of power or greatness about us that makes us different than other people. So it's very important to have individuality, but also to be more of a community oriented, and I feel like that's dwindling a little bit, especially with people that kind of agree with each other with different subjects. It's proven that if you are around a lot of other people that agree with you, then other people or other subjects that you deem as like wrong are going to, you're not going to be as open-minded about it, because you kind of have more of a social group that feels the same as you do. So it's really helpful to meet other people and meet other people that have different backgrounds than you, and it'll really open your mind. Study other cultures, even different generations. I would like to point out that mental health is a new thing relatively in our generation. And back, if you're, at least 30 or 40 years old, your parents did not have access to the mental health that you have right now. So even at a generational perspective, even if you don't agree with, traditional viewpoints, understand that they did not have the support or knowledge about emotions or how to regulate. What was standard then isn't standard now. So understand, read different articles or newspapers, or how your grandparents or parents grew up, because it'll give you insight about how their morality and how they view life, and it's going to be very different than how you personally view life. And that's not bad, it just makes things have more of a polarity and contrast. So I hope this was helpful, guys, and I hope that you take care of yourself, because I know that it's really difficult, and I just want you to know that you look beautiful and wonderful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And of course, I will leave, I have a Spotify mailing list, individual sessions, as well as artwork and writings, and I'll leave that in the description box below. But I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for being here. I would like to offer you a variety of content that I have, and I've been working on this content for a few years now. I do have individual sessions that I offer on Zoom, and a portion of sessions go to a human in need. Also, I have a variety of articles, and I have a Spotify as well. For each and every person that has subscribed to my channel, thank you so much, and I really look forward to connecting with you.